Yeah, Zeus bringing nothing but heat, thunder in the chest. Waking up daily, putting in the work, no rest. This for the real one, scrolling through the mess. Straight talk, no cap. Let's address. Every morning I wake, phone in my hand, scrolling through the lies, Trump and the Klan. Republicans violent, same script on repeat. I call out the cap, expose it in the street. They yell TDS, but it's them on that coat. Trump devotion syndrome, they deep in the vault. Jan 6, they duck when I press on the facts. Boogaloo, oath keepers, proud boys getting stacks. Slush fund money for the supremacist crew. Obama rent free, he's still living in you. Peddling straight cap, misinformation daily. It's coming back around, watch the downfall, baby. I'm destroying these Trump supporters daily. Zeus dropping thunder, they folding like babies. MAGA's worst nightmare, that's me on the low. God of the sky, sending straight to the smoke. They play me on Fox, MSNBC, CNN. I'm the one waking the world up again. Battle for the soul, this country on the line. Lake of fire waiting, no cap, it's mine. Ice out here wildin', violating rights. Trump dropping bombs on Iran late nights. Stealing that oil from Venezuela, no shame. Putting on the soil, red carpet, what a game. Soldiers on their knees, disgrace on display. Epstein files locked, y'all still look the other way. He said terrific guy. We all heard the quote, Christian nationalists blind. That's the sickest joke. Blowing up schools, innocent girls in the dirt. These clowns bugging, putting evil to work. I'm doing this cause the country needs saving. The people, the world, this ain't just entertaining. Waking up every day feeling the weight, but I carry that thunder, I don't hesitate. They call it hate, I call it real talk. Somebody gotta say it, somebody gotta walk. Through the fire, through the lies, through the smoke, Zeus in the sky. This the path that I chose. I'm destroying these Trump supporters daily. Zeus dropping thunder, they folding like babies. MAGA's worst nightmare, that's me on the low. God of the sky, send it straight to the smoke. They play me on Fox, MSNBC, CNN. I'm the one waking the world up again. Battle for the soul, this country on the line. Lick the fire waiting, no cap, it's mine. Straight to the lake, no cap. Thunder don't miss. MAGA's worst nightmare, remember that. Zeus out.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. Happy Friday. Good morning, Zena, Kabira. Wow, Miss C, Queen Flea. Paula, Catch a Spy. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Friday, August 14th. Let's go.
It's deja vu when I'm running up these racks. I'm like the Terminator screaming.
I'll be back.
It's deja vu when I'm out here flying first class. It's like every week I gotta take out the
Let's go.
trash.
I'm on top of my game, ahead of the class. You can tell that I made it. Look at my grass.
Cars in the garage with tanks full of
Good
gas.
line.
I play the game so well.
I won't finish last. Let's go, WVIP.
This is how it's
Great skate. Look at my grass. You know what I mean?
the algorithm turned to a maniac.
Love you too. I love you, baby.
Cause my zodiac.
I got all these numbers on my spreadsheet. Blagger, you don't know what a spreadsheet is. Marissa, let's go. Queen's Bridge.
They don't get me pops if they test me. I say it with my chest cause I mean it.
Right hand. The Rizzlers in full effect. Let's go.
Call me the
Beautiful.
Rizzler with a new whip.
Here goes. Here's my favorite part.
I'll tell you what, I haven't gone into Zeus's
Taurus.
last couple of days.
Drug
That
test.
shit was radical.
Hey, filthy mouth.
It was horrible. I'm like,
sure.
Zeus has gone way off the rails.
Oh,
It's like deja vu. It's
they
like
never
deja
have
vu.
anything nice to say about a brother like
It's
me.
like deja vu.
It's as much work as I do. All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we are back in the Thunderdome. Happy Friday. I am your host. I'm your pilot. And once again, we're gathered to do the real work that it takes to save this country from the evil clutches of Donald J. Trump and his legion of demons. And you know exactly who these demons are, ladies and gentlemen. They come over, they hide, they lurk in the shadows. These are some of the slimiest, sickest, deranged creatures ever known to mankind. And you know, but what we're doing is important because what we're doing is casting out demons. And who better to lead that charge than yours truly, myself, Zeus, or as some like to say, the Rizzler, you know what I'm saying? Or as some really like to say, Triple H. And then a lot of you are going, well, why do they call you Triple H? Well, it's quite simple. The first H, ladies and gentlemen, is why. The first H is because guess what? Honest. I'm the most honest person on social media. There's nobody more honest than me. Seriously. The second H, ladies and gentlemen, is guess what? It's because I am humble. There's nobody more humble than me on social media. If I get it wrong, guess what? I'll be the first to apologize, right? But here's the thing. Just because your feelings are hurt, does that mean Big Zeus owes you an apology? Absolutely not, right? Absolutely not. Especially after what we dealt with yesterday. One of DJ's friends, you know who he was. I don't know what his name is, Demon. Yeah, now they're all crashing out and they hate Big Zeus. They don't even want to come talk to me. And it's not really it's really not because they don't like me. It's because of the no tolerance, zero tolerance policy that I have, right? When I know that you're lying and I know that you're being a vessel of transgression for the devil himself, I'm not going to let you get away with it. There's no amount of curse words and slurs and nasty, foul things you could say to me to change my mind. And that's the thing about MAGA. They don't understand at this point. They're smooth brains, right? Does a MAGA insult hurt Big Zeus? Nope, it doesn't. Because a MAGA insult, honestly, is a compliment. Thank you. A MAGA insult is a compliment because I don't want to be aligned with you in any way, shape, or form unless you're being genuinely honest about what's really happening in this country. And that leads me to the next part, which is the last H. And they go, well, what is the last H? Well, the last H, ladies and gentlemen, is truly because I am and will always remain, you've guessed it, the most handsome. Thank you. W's in the chat. Good morning, brother Rick. My most diabolical. You're diabolical, Rick. I gotta give it to you. Yeah. Now, like I said, what we do is very incredible. I have 100% guaranteed or your money back way of making grown men and even the ladies that support Donald Trump. They cry. They come over here and they cry. They ask me questions they don't want the answers to. They try to say all kinds of bad things, and none of it actually works. Am I right, Karma? Go ahead, Karma. None of. You know, because it's not what people call you, it's what you answer to. And anybody that was raised with common sense, W's in the chat, Cole as the days. Anybody that was raised properly, not, you ever heard of raised by wolves? Trump supporters weren't raised by wolves as far as I'm concerned. I don't even think they raised themselves. These folks were just left to fall off the face of the earth, and they learned all the bad traits of being a decent person. They just learned them all, and they think being a bad person is a good thing. And so what we're going to do is make sure they understand that under no circumstances will any of us surrender, right, Cece? Who wants to surrender the United States of America over to MAGA? Anybody in the audience? Anybody in the audience out there believe it's okay to surrender the United States of America over to MAGA? Out of all the people, out of all the political parties we could surrender this country over to, how many of you believe MAGA would be the best ruling class so that, they could take care of all of our housing needs, or all of our health care needs? How many of you out there believe MAGA is the solution? WVIP. I like it. Hell no. You trying to put it out of your, you want to put it out cold. Okay, well, listen up. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you know what this means. I'm going to give you Trump supporters an opportunity of a lifetime. What is that? How about this? Just go ahead and hit that block button. The TikTok guys, they say, Zeus, you got to tell them, make sure they're following you. So I want people to actually follow me, right? Because, you can keep up with the latest and the greatest. But what I have learned over the years, every Trump supporter that has, quote unquote, believed that somehow they could woo me and get me to see things from their perspective, for whatever the reason is, maybe their smooth brain eventually gets a wrinkle in it, and they realize you're not going to ever get me to subscribe to MAGA. I don't care what you got, right? They end up following me, trolling me, doing all these things, and then one day, you know what they do? You know what they do? They do exactly what our beloved DJ did, WJess, all right? And the DJ story by far, ladies and gentlemen, it's probably one of the best stories that I'm going to tell, because it's worthy of me retiring my jersey and putting it in the rafters, so to speak, right? Because what I did to this demon, it was a masterclass. And Jim, you kind of did warn me. You said stuff like, you got to be careful. This guy's he tries to pretend to be smooth. But you know what it was like when you watch that movie, Men in Black. These shapeshifters, they can never change who they truly are, right? And so eventually He's been watching my videos thinking he's studied all of my kung fu, so to speak. And then eventually, you know what he did? He cursed me out. Some of the most foulest language. And I said, wow, it's incredible. I can get so-called Christians to literally start conjuring up evil, just evil demonic words. But this is what I do to them. So that I know then that's when I'm getting inside of their brain and I'm like, oh yeah, I got that demon doing overtime. And look at him. He doesn't even know right now. I'm up. He's not. I'm winning. He's losing. And next thing you know, foam coming out of the mouth. You all heard. And then I hate your guts. This is what he said. I hate your guts, Zeus. You are real. And you know, I'm going to do something I've never thought you could get me to do because you're in control. What are you going to do? What does he do? Block W, Zeus. Then yesterday we had his demonic friend come up here crashing out, trying to defend his honor. No, you're never going to be able to defend. And so with that, if you're a Trump supporter and you don't want that experience, do us all a favor and just leave right now, all right? Because I promise you, I'm going to make you feel very uncomfortable. But get this, you don't got to take my word for it. Listen to your leader.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country.
Bye, DJ.
If you're not happy here, you can leave.
Bye,
If
Snuggie.
you're not happy.
Who else?
In the U.S.
Wild man.
You're complaining all the time.
Oh, God.
Very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now.
I've done this.
Come back if you want. Don't come back.
Yeah.
It's okay too.
Wow.
But if you're not happy, you can
And
leave.
with that, ladies and gentlemen, the doors to the Thunderdome, they have officially closed. Yeah, I am MAGA's worst nightmare. You know why? And I'm not even going to get into it because it's so serious what I'm doing out here. You could just look at Donald Trump's poll numbers. Oftentimes, the first thing I think about right now when I hear MAGA scream, oh, we need to secure our borders, the first thing I start to think about, wouldn't it be nice if we get any of these Trump supporters to just get out here and start doing the work that the people who come into this country looking for a better way of life are doing, right? I would love to get some of you, and I don't mean this in any disrespectful way because hard work is hard work, but you know, a lot of the people working in the agricultural part of the economy doing that work so that our groceries were affordable. They don't understand yet. You kick everybody out that's helping to keep the food on the table. Guess what that means? Grocery prices go up, right? So I would love to see some of these demons that get up here and espouse all kinds of hateful rhetoric towards other human beings simply because of how they look or who they're hooking up with. Yeah, get your behinds out there in that hot, sweltering heat, right? Get your behinds out there. I would love to just see DJ. Somebody said, stop saying it. No, I would love to see people like DJ, Brother Dame. You know who Brother Dame is. Wild Man Grinder 69. You know who these people are. Snuggie. You know, these are people I've just defeated over and over. I would be the best person out there because I want to be their supervisor. I would literally, if you could pay me, I would be their supervisor and I'd be out there walking around like this. No, sir. Yeah, I'd be walking around and I'd have a whip in my hand right here. I would. I don't care if they wrote me up for it. I would demand, ooh, I better get the top yield. Oh, and if you don't give me that top yield, I'm taking you out back to the woodshed. TikTok for entertainment, educational purposes only. No, because there has to be consequences for making our grocery prices go up. There has to be. What bothers me so much right now is, look at this. Our gas prices are through the roof. Our energy prices are through the roof. Yeah. And MAGA has gone radio silent. Radio silent. And I'm sitting here saying to myself, airport government shutdowns. No Epstein files. And people getting fired. Caroline Levitt doesn't even want to work for Donald Trump anymore. Because she found out that if she would have she found out he set her up. Yeah, he set her up to be knocked off. Yeah. And MAGA has gone radio silent. Radio silent. I said, wow. And it's so bad now, they don't even want us to talk about their daddy. They don't bring up Donald Trump's name. Shh, you're going to get in trouble. This is how these Trump supporters walk around on social media now. Shh, you're going to get in trouble if you say his name. Yeah, Master Daddy doesn't like it when you say anything. So, yeah, just please keep it down. Keep it down. And I listen to this stuff, and I'm looking at him like, oh, you mean I can't say Donald Trump? You mean I can't say Trump? You're doing a terrible job. You're ruining the country. Iran is kicking your butt. We found you in the back of that food truck. Because if I say that, then that means he'll take it out on you. Shh, yeah. Okay, well, guess what? Donald Trump, you're doing a terrible job. Hey, come get your supporters. Come get them. Whoop them. Do whatever you want to them. Because, honestly, a hard head makes for a soft behind. And if you know who I grew up brothers and sisters and stuff, when it came time to getting that whooping, I'm gonna be honest with you. I learned a long time ago. I don't care if we're related or not. You did it, you're going there. And I'll be in the back room laughing at you. Yeah, because I'll do that. Yeah. Oh, what's she doing? What did he do? Oh, yeah, whoop him again. He tried to get me to get the whooping. Ain't happening. Yeah. Yeah, I don't do a good job taking other people's punishment. I don't. And I don't have a heart about it like I used to when I was younger. I used to think like, oh, I don't want to. But when I start thinking about it, I go, wait a minute. They ignored my advice. They ignored the red lights and the warnings we were giving you. Yeah, and they insulted me and they cursed me out and said a bunch of negative things. Yeah, that's what they did. Then guess what? Yeah, you deserve it. W, Zeus. Yeah. Who do we got? What's this right here? Oh, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like we have somebody that's already triggered this morning. I didn't even let the airplane take off. Here's an example. What's up?
How's it going?
Yeah, what brings you to the show this morning? I haven't even gotten into the content. Is everything okay? I've burnt you several times. What's going on? You okay?
Oh, really? What have you burnt me on?
Oh, there you go. This is easy. Thank you. I knew this was... Okay, yeah, all right.
So you can't debate me? Got it.
Go ahead, Swerve. I'm glad you did this,
Hey, Swerve, would you like to attempt to debate me?
Did your utility costs go down 50%? Did your utility costs go down 50%? Did your utility costs go down 50%?
I gotta get it. Popcorn, mute up. Swerve, that's an excellent question.
Because you know what, Zeus, brother, look, this is the second time in a row he's come up on your panel, and I've been right here with his dumb ass, and he still won't answer that question. He still won't answer that question.
Answer it.
I know Iran's not enriching uranium.
Watch this, Zeus. Watch this. Hey, Popcorn, for the second time in a row now, did your utility costs go down 50%? Yes or no?
Would you like to debate me, or are you going to
No, Popcorn. This is the debate. Just tell
I'm sorry, what?
I need to laugh, Popcorn. So tell us if it went down 50%.
Well, being that I just bought a new house, it's actually doubled for me. So,
Popcorn.
like
Yes or
debate?
no? Did your utility costs go down 50%?
He can't say
Hey,
no.
Pop-Tart, did your utility costs go down 50%? Yes or no?
He's getting cooked.
I know Iran's not enriching uranium.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Even
there.
trade-off.
Maybe their utility costs
Even
went down
trade-off.
50%, but you know
You
what?
don't need-
I don't live in
trade-off.
Iran. I'm asking you, did your utility costs? Did your
Short-term
utility
pain for
costs go down
long-term
50%?
gain.
Yes or no?
Short-term pain.
Short-term pain.
Did your
long-term
utility
gain.
costs go down 50%? Yes or
Popcorn, I
no?
don't got all morning to do this.
So you won't answer the question.
This is sad.
I could do this all day
Would
with
y'all
this
like
fool.
to
Popcorn,
debate?
popcorn.
or
Because
are you
he
gonna-
won't answer that question simply because if he says anything negative about his
Yeah.
Lord and Savior, his undergarments are going to get further entangled in his crevasse.
that's what happens in
His
a
heart
war.
won't know how to
Thank you.
feel,
W's in the
and his
chat for
brain might
swerving.
actually develop a wrinkle.
That's what happens in a war.
No,
His brain might actually develop a wrinkle in it.
Popcorn.
Now, everybody watching Zeus, watch how Zeus runs.
So why won't you answer any questions?
Watch
Popcorn,
how
why won't you
Zeus
answer any
and
questions?
Swerve
Hold on. Whoa, whoa, whoa,
run
whoa,
the
whoa, whoa,
debate.
whoa,
Okay. He thinks we're
It's
runners.
2v1. It's 2v1.
Popcorn.
I would destroy both of you right now.
Wait,
No, it's me
I'm
and
not
you.
on Grinder. I'm not on Grinder. Keep that.
I'm not
Grindr
on Grindr
link-
either.
Keep
I
that
would
Grinder
destroy
lingo
both
to
of you
yourself,
right
bro.
now in a debate. If you
Popcorn,
don't
here's
debate me, then
the
you
problem.
concede and you're a runner.
Popcorn. Here's the problem.
Will you accept
Here's
the
the
debate?
problem. You
Debate
won't
me right
answer.
now. 2v1.
You won't answer a single
easy.
question.
It's easy. Let's do
you
it like
keep
this.
talking
2v1.
over everybody.
Let's do it like this then.
Go ahead,
Are
Zeus.
you willing to debate in good faith? Yes or no? Because
Always am. Yes,
the
absolutely.
moment you defer, and it no longer becomes good faith, all bets are off. Deal?
Yeah, deal.
Okay,
Let's
now
go.
can you answer Swervin's first question? Yes or no? Because before we do anything, right, we got to make sure your brain is working. And so I got to do a diagnostic test.
Look, you can't even talk
Yeah, because it's
you're
so hard
nervous.
it's so hard to
No,
deal with
you're
people
nervous
like you.
because the
So
legends up
okay,
here.
great. So can you answer the
So
question?
is it 2v1? Yes or no?
No, it's really just you. It's you
No,
versus yourself.
it's 2 versus 1.
No, we're here
So
as
you're running.
okay. Answer the question, Popcorn.
Everybody watching Zeus, notice how he's a coward to debate.
All right, so
Because
answer
he
my
knows he
question. So
can't beat me.
it'll just be you and me. All right, so it'll just be you and me. Answer the question. Did your utility costs go down 50% in the
No.
first year? Yes or no?
No, nobody's utility bill went down.
Hey.
Finally! Wow! Zeus! Zeus, bro!
Oh my
Was that
God!
really a win for you,
W, you made a demon confess.
That's a huge W swerve!
Look,
Wow,
y'all
Pop.
consider that a win. Y'all consider that a W. That's crazy.
Wow!
Wow.
Thank you.
Now my next question.
Would
My
you
next
like
question
well,
for you.
Well, no, you asked
My
the
next
question.
question
He's
for
got
turn.
you on the ropes, bro. Listen up.
It's my turn. Why haven't
Okay,
the
go ahead.
utility
Ask me a
bills
question.
gone
Go
down
ahead.
50%?
Go ahead. Ask me a question.
Why haven't the utility bills gone down 50%?
Oh my God.
Ask your Lord and Savior. He the one said he was going to do it.
Answer the question. Do you know why? Do you have any reason why?
Because he can't do a goddamn
Maybe a
thing he said
WAR
he
has a
claims
little
to
bit to
do.
do with it.
What?
No.
Does what have anything to do with it?
Maybe a WAR have a little bit to do with
Oh,
it.
you mean the war that he started?
I don't know why you went
He
down
didn't
that
start it.
Like that's a if that's the highway you want to drive down, man, you need
Why-
to fill up your
why
gas
did he
tank because we
start-
can fill it. We can fill that all day long.
Okay, so are you going to debate that, or
So
are you going to run?
because he started a war with no provocation whatsoever.
Iran was trying to enrich
And
uranium.
excuse
and
me,
build nuclear weapons.
you asked me a question. Now you don't want me to answer it. So you're not going to debate in good faith.
Look at you run, dude.
No, no,
Don't
no,
run.
no. So-
If you ask me a question, you want me to answer it, right?
And Popcorn.
Okay, go ahead and answer,
and I'll
son.
go
Go
ahead
ahead
and
and
throw
answer.
this out there. Root cause is grid infrastructure spending. Utility companies are pouring capital into replacing aging transmission and distribution lines. That's one reason. Climate-driven listen up. Climate-driven damage, all right? Wildfire and storm damage from grid infrastructure is another reason. Natural gas price volatility, that's another reason. And data center demand. So what were you saying, Pop Trash?
Oh wow.
No.
You guys really do fear me, don't you?
No.
If you ask a question,
Yeah.
Pop Tart,
Yeah.
do you want me to answer the question? Yes or no?
Yeah, go host.
You
So
you can
can you
answer the
shut up
question,
while I
Swirls.
answer the
let
question?
him answer
Yeah.
it, Pop Trash. All right.
Yeah,
we're
go
trying
ahead,
to teach.
Swirls.
We're
Go
trying
ahead
to
and
we're
answer,
trying to
Swirls.
teach you something. We might, if you let us, we could put some wrinkles in that brain today.
The only thing you're teaching me is you're a runner.
At least one.
Yeah,
So
let's-
do you want me to answer the question? Yes or no?
Feel free to do so at any time.
I've been trying. You keep whining.
I'm sitting here silent.
See how that works? So
I'll tell you what. I'll go on
he
mute.
went
so you
started.
can
No,
talk,
no,
so
no,
that
no,
way
no, no,
there's
no, no.
Yeah,
I'm
that's a
going to
good-
answer the
That way there's no
question.
confusion.
Good.
Go ahead,
I'm-
son.
you-
Answer the
first
question.
you cried about me not answering a question. Then you asked me a question as I'm trying to answer it. You cry about that. Can I answer the question? So he started a war without provocation. He pulled us out of the JCPOA, which was working. Y'all like to cite a report from the IAEA of 2019. That was a year after Donald Trump pulled us out of the JCPOA.
Oh,
And that was when the IEA said, hey, they're enriching uranium. Well, when you break the contract, what is the purpose of continuing to follow the contract? Doesn't matter how many other countries were in there. Everybody and their mama told him that they were not acquiring a weapon of mass destruction. His own director of national intelligence, Joe Kent, came out and said, hey, this isn't happening. And he went and did it anyway. But you don't care about any of that. And now we're locked in a conflict that we can't get out of, where he is literally getting his ass handed to him on a daily basis simply by Iran trolling him. And he is sitting there going, how do I get out of this? And he can't. That's why they changed the call sign of Air Force One to Panda Express, because of the fat orange chicken on board.
that
All
part.
right.
That part.
There's your answer.
and to
hook
educate
Pop
you on all
Trash.
that because you've gotten a few things wrong there. So, in January of 2018, an intelligence agency went into Iran, stole 100,000 documents, released those documents in April of 2018.
Where can I find those documents?
They're called the Atomic Archives. Good luck.
Yeah, where can I find those documents? How come you're
Online.
the only ones ever heard of these documents?
Because you don't do any research. And everybody's heard about them. If you've had any kind of debate with me, I've
Hey,
educated
Chad, have y'all
everybody
ever
here.
heard about these documents?
In
Yeah, the Atomic
28,
Archives.
Chad, have y'all ever
And
heard
you
about
walked
these
right into it, by
documents?
the way. So I'd like to finish my my statement.
yeah, go ahead.
And after the Atomic Archives were dropped, we realized in the IAEA that Iran was not being forthcoming and did not disclose all of their facilities, their nuclear enrichment or storage facilities. Trump tried to
Yeah, they
renegotiate the
did.
deal. Iran said pound
Now,
sand. Trump whipped up the JCPOA. Then Iran continued to go on and enrich uranium.
Pop Trash.
And please do
Pop-
not say that
Pop
the
Trash.
documents
Hold on, Jiffy
were
Pop.
from
I got
the
to ask you
90s to
something.
2003.
I actually,
Hold on, Jiffy Pop.
I looked into this, and so are you talking about the Israel's Mossad agency going into Iran doing this? Is that what you're referring to when you say intelligence agencies?
Correct.
Okay, well, you didn't say that. Why did you intentionally
Because
not
I
say
didn't need
that?
to, because the
No, 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 no,
IAEA
no, 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 no,
confirmed that
no,
they're
no, no,
accurate.
no, no. Why did you leave that out? Who are you? You're trying to trick us.
No, I'm not tricking you. The
Okay,
IAEA confirmed the intelligence.
You could have acknowledged that that's who
The
confirmed it
IAEA
because you
agreed
made it.
with the
Hold on.
intelligence.
See, this is called leading the witness. You gave me, and I maybe Swerve could speak for itself. You made it seem like our U.S. intelligence
It
agencies.
doesn't matter which intelligence.
Oh,
The fact is, it's
Oh.
accurate. It's real.
Swerve, can I
It's
ask
a
you a
real
question?
fact.
Swerve, can I ask
And
you?
so I would like to finish my
Can I
statement
finish
to
talking to
educate
Brother
you
Swerve,
guys
someone who served this country?
on why
Can-
Iran was the
I
reason for the
need to go ahead.
WAR.
Hey, Pop Tart, calm yourself
Calm
down.
down.
Look at him, the running.
We got to slow misinformation and disinformation down.
Go take some more ivermectin and relax.
So
So what did
Swerve,
I say? That was misinformation.
well, you made it seem like our intelligence agencies went and did something when it was
No,
another country's
no, I
intelligence
said an
agency.
intelligence agency.
Oh,
I didn't
okay,
say
okay. So
American intelligence
let's
agency.
put a pin in that real quick. Swerve, does the
Yes, sir.
How do you feel about another country's intelligence agency being used to justify our country going into war with such country? How does that make you feel?
You know,
That's the
Zeus, I would
IAEA
rather.
report.
Pop Trash, please.
Nobody asked you a thing. I would rather
So the
rely
IAEA
on
confirmed that that facility
excuse
was,
me. I could have sworn I was
and
in the
that
middle of a
Iran
sentence
did
right
not
now.
disclose.
He can't
Here
contain
he
himself.
is once
I'm
again. Can't
asking.
control himself.
I'm listening. Let me do my job, Pop Trash. Okay.
Well, I'm just trying to educate
I don't.
you. kids.
Please stop. Please don't. I've already caught you in several misrepresentations of the
I
facts.
didn't misrepresent
All right? No.
anything. Follow the conversation.
Swerve, could you please?
You know, Zeus, I would rather
You're getting
I
dog
would
walked.
rather
That's the
rely
only
on
thing happening.
U.S. intelligence
Thank
like
you.
they did when the intelligence agencies told Donald Trump that Putin had put bounties on our troops' heads. Right?
Yeah.
I would rather rely on them to tell me that,
Mhm.
as opposed to an agency that's given us false
How about the
intelligence,
IAEA?
bad intelligence, to where we end up double tapping a freaking girls' school.
You don't get it.
Yeah,
Pop
that's what
Trash.
I would
How about the
rather
Pop
rely
Trash,
on.
and that's where I'm at. So W's in the chat.
Dude, you guys.
So Pop Trash.
Man, you guys can't stick
Why?
to the debate,
No,
can you?
no.
You guys are running.
No.
Ain't nobody running. We sitting right
You're
here.
running.
You the one sitting there crashing out.
Dude, I'm not crashing out. You guys
Pop
are
that
Trash.
little-
Pop, listen,
That
bro.
little
Because you know you can't beat
sociopathic
me in a
laugh.
we
That little sociopathic laugh of yours
So
tells
can
us
I
everything
finish
we
what
need
I
to
was
know.
saying?
if you would listen to
Are
us,
you scared of my words?
If you would listen to us, all right. I got a
Are you
job
scared
to
of
do.
facts?
Listen, as the host of the show, I have a
You're
serious.
scared of facts,
I
aren't
will
you,
mute
there?
you again. As the host of the show, I have a serious job to do. I got to stop the misinformation and the disinformation from percolating.
Nothing that I said is
Yeah,
misinformation.
it was. I just
It's
told
all
you.
factual.
Okay. here-
Confirmed by the IAEA.
All right. So okay, moving on from that. What else?
Oh, yeah. You want to move on?
Well, what's your point? What's your point
I'm
by
saying that Iran started this WAR.
No, Iran did not start this.
Yes, Iran was
How
the
did Iran
leading
start it? Go
cause.
ahead,
Okay, that's
reference
misinformation.
1979.
That's misinformation. That's
That's flat out misinformation.
if you say it again, I'm going to ask you to just go ahead and wrap this thing up, Pop Trash. I'm not going to sit on TikTok this
So would you
morning.
like me to continue to present the evidence?
No. I want you to
No
listen,
evidence? You don't like evidence?
listen to what I'm saying.
Oh my gosh. Zeus doesn't like evidence. Go figure.
Listen to what we're saying. we all remember how this all got kicked off. If you want me to
No
remind you,
surprise.
okay. So
Yeah, by Iran
no,
unaliving
no,
600
no,
U.S. service members.
no. And you say it one more time, Pop Trash. It's a wrap. Let me
The
tell.
Pentagon said that
Let
Iran
me tell you. Let me tell you and ask you to confirm it.
unalived 600 service
Pop
members.
Trash. Do you remember Bill Clinton sitting down and testifying
Straight from
about?
the Pentagon.
He can't do it. He can't do it.
He can't control himself. He
Oh,
can't.
would you like to talk about the EFA?
He couldn't
I
control
dropped
himself
him.
if his
I
life
dropped him.
depended on it.
I couldn't drop him. I had to drop him, bro. Because we can't.
It's all good, man. It's your
Thank you for
life, brother.
coming up here. Thank you for coming up here, bro. All right, we can't have misinformation and disinformation. Yes.
As soon as I saw him come up,
Yeah.
I was like, as soon as I saw him come up, I was like, well, we got to do this again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just-
If he would have been, if
he just can't control himself. And it took us 2 days
yeah.
just to get him to admit that utility costs have not gone down 50%, like Donald Trump said they would. And then what does he do?
What?
He blamed that Donald Trump started,
Yeah.
but won't acknowledge that Donald Trump started.
Yeah.
And they want to go all the way back to 1979 after, once again, the United States poked its nose into the Middle East.
Bingo.
And we got nothing but death and destruction for it.
Bingo.
And that's why we need to stay out of the affairs of the Middle East. But I will ask Pop Tart one last question before I drop down, Zeus.
What's that?
I thought, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought Jared Kushner took care of all the peace in the Middle East.
Yeah, I thought so.
That's
too.
what I thought.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Damn it.
Fair enough. All right.
I'm sorry, man.
All good. W's in the chat for Brother Swerve.
So-
Thank you. Oops.
All right, bro.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was a bit of a pivot, but we took care of the business, ladies and gentlemen. And I just want to say this, Pop Trash. You need to go back and look at what happened. The war started after Bill Clinton sat down in front of the House Oversight Committee and talked about Jeffrey Epstein. The next day, we went to war. That had nothing to do with what Iran was already doing, all right, W. Zeus? And I don't want to have to teach you that again, all right, W. Little Hop? Now, I know we have a special guest today, all right, Dayna Marie Foster, so I got to try to knock out some of the stuff that we came to talk about. We're not going to let the devil steal, all right? So the first thing that I wanted to talk about, oh my goodness, what an interesting way of starting things off. The first thing, ladies and gentlemen, is I wanted to talk about this, which is the White House border czar Tom Homan defending ICE using these electric gloves. And we're just going to get this on the record and do our thing. All right, let's go, ladies and gentlemen.
Hunt for earthquake survivors. The U.S. is sending search and rescue
Hold
teams
on.
to
Oh,
Colombia
my gosh.
to help in the desperate hunt for earthquake survivors.
Well, listen up. I just want to say this. What do we have here? These are the gloves, ladies and gentlemen. This is what ICE agents want to do to the American people. They want to do this to people of color, and it's very concerning.
I scream like a little girl and pee myself. Go back with the glove.
Hide your hands. Don't give him your hands.
We're trying to get his hands out.
Stop resisting.
Resist.
Put your hands.
What kind of sick and only sick and wicked people get off on doing this? This is why you got to watch who you hang out with, ladies and gentlemen. Because they're sitting here thinking this stuff is funny. This is real dangerous stuff. You don't know someone's underlying health conditions that they might have before you start sending the volts through them. But this is what we're dealing with here in the United States. A wicked and evil and demonic group of so-called Christians running around here. Literally, look at this.
I scream like a little girl and pee myself. Go back with the glove.
It should be illegal, honestly, ladies and gentlemen. It really should be illegal. that Tom Homan is defending these, all right? He's defending the Immigration and Customs Enforcement plan to give officers gloves that deliver painful electric shocks, calling them a tool to help officers in confrontations without using deadly force. Yeah, this is what I said, ladies and gentlemen. This is why shows like this are very, very important, and why we don't need to listen to the people who run around defending Donald Trump, because they don't know what the heck they're talking about. They don't know what they're talking about. And again, more proof that the Trump administration wants to do as many things as possible to hurt Americans. Next topic. This has to do with Epstein. Pop trash, listen up. So we're getting more news that Donald Trump is hiding what he did with Jeffrey Epstein from the American people. Now, I can't confirm what he did because, you know, that's the game they like to play. But listen to this and tell me if you think Donald Trump is hiding something because he did something wrong.
A federal judge is set to press Justice Department lawyers about why they withheld some Epstein files from the public. In June, Judge Emmett Sullivan ruled the Justice Department's redactions and withheld materials violated the Epstein Files Transparency Act. But the Justice Department still hasn't turned over those documents. Now the judge is ordering them to explain why. ABC's Peter Haralambous is here for more. Peter, the DOJ has argued that these redactions were lawful. They have to discuss this now in this hearing. How do you see this playing out?
Yeah, so the judge at this point has identified two major kinds of documents that he wants to talk about. And he's apparently going to go basically document by document here. The first one are a batch of notes and emails where the names have been redacted. He didn't think there was enough documentation about why those names had to be redacted to prove they were actually victims as opposed to associates of Epstein. The second batch of documents relate to these the FBI's interview of this woman who made unsubstantiated allegations against President Trump.
Who? There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Listen up, MAGA.
Batch of documents relate to these the FBI's interview of this woman who made unsubstantiated allegations against President Trump. The DOJ released the FBI reports about those interviews, but not the underlying notes. And now the judge wants to know why, under the Epstein Files Transparency Act, the DOJ believes they can withhold the handwritten notes and only put out those FBI reports. The DOJ insists they're complying with the law and that these redactions and these withheld documents are completely lawful.
So what we know is there are files, handwritten notes that have Donald Trump's name all over it. And his DOJ they're still breaking the law. That should have already been released. And the question we need to answer, or Donald Trump needs to answer, is why is he hiding it? You know what I'm saying? Why is he pleading the fifth? Only a guilty person pleads the fifth, according to him. So I really do hope that we get past this point where the DOJ gets to play, you know, politics with these files. And really, let's go ahead and make sure they do the right thing and show the world who Donald Trump really is. Because this is what this is all about. Arrest them all? Yeah, I agree. Yeah, arrest them all. The next thing is, he played it over 400 times. W's in the chat for Santana. I see you, bro. The next thing is, and this is what really gets people upset. This is what I was dealing with yesterday. Donald Trump constantly disrespecting our men and women in uniform. And I want to play this because this is what made people like DJ, Pop Tart, or whatever I call him, Pop Trash. This is what made him crash out. And Morning Joe did this yesterday, but I'm going to play it today, giving Pete Kegsbreath a verbal lashing, because everything that's going on in our military, it really is Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth's fault.
Drags on, and who knows how long they'll be out there. There have been town hall meetings from these military families in the San Diego area where they have just erupted, understandably so, on leaders about the conditions they're hearing about from their loved ones on board that ship.
You know, it's about military readiness. This is something that we worried about on the Armed Services Committee all the time. You have to make sure the rotation is such that people can do their rotation, they can do their duty, then they can get home.
There is no rotation.
They can get back on base, they can rest up, they can be, again, prepared. So this comes down to military readiness. I've never seen anything like this before. And again, this is the problem. This is what happens when you have a defense secretary that's obsessed about.
Has anyone actually made it to level 4 before? If you're slightly congested,
no, I haven't made it to
use
level 4.
1.
The color of people's skin, whether somebody is a man or a woman, testosterone levels, this obsession over DEI. And that's all we ever hear about. And what we're not hearing about is, well, the basics. The basics always start with readiness. So men and women of the United States military, militarily ready to go into combat if called upon. And this is the exact opposite of what you do to make sure that they are prepared and ready to go. And this doesn't have anything to do with toughness or this or that or the other. There are normal rotations. This is insane by any measure
Dangerous.
At all. And so think about it, Jonathan Lemire. We have this happening on the USS Lincoln. We have our sailors being treated like third-class citizens, treated like trash.
Wow.
Actually. So we're not taking care of job one, which is, again, military readiness. And secondly, we're not even able to keep count of the munitions that we have. Pete Hegseth's DOD has run out of munitions to fight a hot war with Iran that Pete Hegseth told the president we should start.
Wow.
So he's sitting around talking about testosterone levels and doing all these stupid promo videos that are supposed to make him look tough, obsessing over somebody, whether somebody's black or white, obsessing over taking down the pictures of the man who flew more combat missions than anybody else in the history of the United States military. But because Chappie James was black, Pete Hegseth had to take the picture down.
Wow.
These are the things he's obsessed on. We hear for years, oh my God, they're too concerned about DEI. It's getting in the way of the mission.
Yeah.
No, it's just the opposite. It's Pete Hegseth who is so obsessed with the color of somebody's skin, or whether it's a man or a woman that's doing the mission, or whether the person is black or white, that's doing extraordinary things to protect and defend the United States of America. He's so obsessed over the little things. That readiness is falling by the wayside.
Showing off on group chats.
Hey, we're about to bomb here.
Firing
and
the
there.
people who would have been able to identify the collateral damage in a war strike.
So, not taking care of first things first. He's actually worried about social, he wants to worry about social issues and social policies inside the Pentagon instead of making sure we have the munitions we need and making sure that our military men and women are ready for warfare and they get like sane, rational rotations like every other commander in chief and every other secretary of defense before him actually did.
Yeah, the secretary obsessed with, as you say, rewriting.
And it gets worse, ladies and gentlemen, because what Gavin Newsom said is, and he said this about Pete Hegseth, he's delusional, maniac, agitated. Has Pete gone through a rug test lately? Why are the results not public? So this is Pete defending all the crazy stuff that's happening right now. And the question the question we got to ask ourselves, is he on rugs?
Completely misrepresented. Listen, we make sure that every ship, every crew, every captain has everything we can provide them at every single moment. Some deployments are longer than others, and I have more respect and gratitude for those sailors than anybody. What they do in those...
I know when a person is on rugs. All right, I know. The hands are flailing. Look at the eyes, the concentration, the over embellishing of your results. And, you're just on. And I'm looking at this and I'm going, wow. They do need, because they said he used to show up, at Fox News loaded, right? I mean, but
has everything we can provide them at every single moment.
Look
Some
at them
deployments
eyes.
are longer than others, and I have more respect and gratitude for those sailors than anybody. What they do in those high seas and those austere conditions with less port calls, it's incredible. I mean, Americans don't understand what it's like to do that. So as someone who's not been on a ship like that, but been on long deployments, I feel it. I want them home as soon as everybody else do. I want folks rotated as quickly as possible. I want the best for them. My commanders know that. Our service secretaries know that. The president expects that. And so to that crew and to all those crews, we're going to do everything we can for you. And we are so grateful for their dedication of that crew and others. They've held the line for the country, and they've done.
This is what I'm talking about. When you have somebody as incompetent as this running our U.S. military, somebody wrote dope fiend. Y'all really think y'all think he on something? No, be honest. If you think he's on something, go ahead, put it in the chat. Let me see how many of y'all think he on something beyond what we know he's on. Because you have to be, in order to numb, because you're numbing the pain, right? And oh my gosh, the chat, y'all, wow. Somebody said it's disgusting, ladies and gentlemen. It really is. All right, now let's go ahead and I guess wrap things up. Hopefully, we get our panelists to come up here. And I wanted to share this very, very important TV series that's coming out. All right. And it's about MAGA's dear leader. All right. Okay, this is just...
Open the door.
Who is it?
This is the Secret Service. Hey, Trump, what are you doing here?
Me? Nothing. Just hanging around.
No. I mean, do we look strong as a country when you got a president crammed inside of a food truck, ladies and gentlemen? We are literally the laughing stock. I saw this one too. This is crazy stuff that they're doing now. You can't have, no one takes the United States serious. No one. And to think, grown people, ladies and gentlemen, grown people voted for this. Grown people voted for this.
Stand back and stand by for the most exciting airplane film you've ever seen since the last one you saw. With Donald Trump in Scareplane.
Pete, there is a credible threat from Iran, and that Qatari grift plane is a sitting duck.
Scareplane has drama.
I understand. I have a plan.
Hey, Ahmad, where is the catering truck? They are loading the plane over there.
Scareplane has action. Scareplane has suspense.
You can't make this stuff up.
Scareplane has chicken shits. Scareplane has romance.
Why did Donald want me on Air Force One?
I'm not sure, ma'am, but he was rather insistent you be on this plane.
Scareplane has music.
And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free.
Never has an administration been.
Do y'all want to see the rest of this? I mean, I don't want to ruin anything. I don't think we should be laughing like this on the show today. Like, y'all want to see the rest of this? Y'all want to see the rest? Y'all ready? Should I keep letting it go?
Deceptive.
Little Marco, have you ever been in a reality TV show while being Secretary of Transportation?
Doctor, that dead man on board can't bear much more of this.
I'm not a doctor. And did you say the words dead and bear?
Marco, do you like woke movies about Greek mythology?
Stephen, what can you make out of this?
This? I can make an executive order that Trump uses to separate illegal mothers from their babies.
Wow. Look at that food.
Sent Trump scared off of his billion-dollar plane.
Woo!
Have you ever changed a grown man's diaper?
Donald is on another plane because Iran is targeting this one.
He let us fly on this plane knowing we are a target of Iran? Doctor, you can't be serious.
I am serious, and reminder, I'm not a doctor. I just pretend to be one with your children's lives.
I should be on that other plane. I should be with Donald!
Do this. I got this. You are not his wife, and you are not his nursemaid. You're a psycho!
Sir, I got this.
I need to be with Donald right now. He needs me. He is my everything.
Katie must have been on meth to hit this jiggly pup.
Have you ever done a bump off another man's log?
What?
When you are too scared to fly,
Oh my gosh.
it's Scareplane.
Hey. Oh my
Really
gosh.
hate that sad loser, Mr. Newberger.
Go ahead,
Who,
Lee.
me? If you enjoy Mr. Newberger's AI funnies and want to help support a creator,
There you go.
subscribe to his Patreon.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Scareplane. I feel like I just went to the movies and saw something. Thank you all. That was a great, all right, ladies and gentlemen, let's open up the boxes. All right. I don't know. Where is our guest? Dayna Marie, are you here? Send a guest request, please. If not, we'll just do what we normally do. That was great. Did you all enjoy it? Let's go. Whew, my side hurts. My side hurts, ladies and gentlemen, because that is honestly proof positive that we are literally the laughing stock of the country, of the world. I've never seen a country, a president, honestly, crammed in the back of a food truck. If Joe Biden, honestly, if I would have found out former President Joe Biden, or even worse, Barack Obama, got in the back of a food truck with the cabbage and the tomato, I would have said, we're done. There's no way. How can you fight a war for a president that is so scared he climbs into the back of a food truck? W Zeus. All right, well, the show must go on. Let's go ahead and open up the boxes, I guess, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who are brave enough to get in the box and tell the truth. All right, we'll do what we normally do. If Dayna Marie does show up, we'll pivot and do that, but it is what it is. Good morning, Q-Dog.
Can you hear me pretty good?
I can hear you pretty good.
All right, awesome. Yeah, I wish I could have got up there with Swerving this morning.
Oh.
With that new tiny tank top Tim testicle popcorn.
Yeah. You know, it's sad, Q-Dog. W's in the chat for Rick. Cooked and booked.
I got a question for him. If he can control and maintain his ability of using vocabulary on an educational level, see if he's still in the audience. I'm quite sure he is.
Pop Trash. Identify yourselves in the comment section, or pretty much.
Pop Trash.
But any of them really. If there's a Trump supporter, W's in the chat for Marissa. If there's a Trump voter out there, by all means, Q-Dog would love to, try to reason with you because you're honestly, bro, you're nicer than I am, right? I think you try to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, I kind of toned it down a little bit because I'm not gonna let these MAGA raise my blood pressure.
Don't do it, Cali
They gonna do what they want to do no matter what, and
Exactly.
they're gonna support that orange trash in office and just because they mimic themselves. They look in the mirror when they see a picture of Trump, they see a mirror image of themselves.
Yeah, they really think they are Trump. That's sad.
But maybe this will motivate him to come up here. I'm gonna just call you TTT Junior because
Okay.
you Tiny Tank Top Tim Testicle Junior.
I haven't seen him in a long time. He's been.
Oh yeah, we roasted him so bad. He probably smoldering down in that dungeon basement of an office that he got.
If he still has a job, I mean, they got to trim the fat, so to speak. And I think he would
exactly.
I think he'd be first on the chopping block if they decided they needed to save some money because we know he's lazy and doesn't do a job. He's collecting a government check, and
yeah, that's right. His job was related to housing, government housing.
Yeah. WQ dog.
Wonder how that's going for him right about now.
It goes back to my dream. If I could tell you, I would love to see all these conservative men that get on social media and bash. Just they bash people based on how they look or who they're hooking up with. I would love to get them out there in the agricultural industry, and I would be out there with them, and I'd be walking around with a whip. I would love to do that.
Yeah, exactly. W Soups on that one.
I cracked that. Ow! Move faster.
Get back to work, boy.
Yeah. Thank you, because that's what they want, right? Because our grocery prices, they haven't gone down. You saw when Swerving had Pop Trash up here. Has your utility bill gone down? It's taken this demon 2-3 days to come back and say, no, it hasn't.
Yeah. That's how they rotate.
Mm-hmm.
They can't. They don't want to admit what's going on.
Yeah.
So they try to deflect from this and try to say something else. Oh well, you don't want to really debate. No, that's not what he asked you. He asked you a specific A and B question.
Yeah.
See your way to answering that question.
Thank you.
And he couldn't do it. But I do have a question for him, and maybe he might have enough a size of a mustard seed brain to maybe answer this question. Who actually said that they were going to lower our utility bills the first day in office multiple times in his campaign?
Oh, Joe Biden?
Oh, no. Was it Obama? No. We know exactly who it was.
Who?
Oh, the Orange Man, Donald Dump, Diaper Dump, out of his mouth, out of his own mouth. Oh, I promise I'm gonna make sure that the utilities are cut in half the first day in office. Let's see, how many days are we into this term right now?
Yeah. Oh.
They said, oh well, he just got in.
Yeah.
Let's wait. Give him 6 months.
Oh no.
Okay, 6 months. 6 months done passed. Oh well, give him a year.
Oh.
Okay, a year done passed. We going
First
into
100 days.
past the second year.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So my question to you is part 2. What part of the United States has been hit by the Ukraine?
None.
On US soil.
You mean Iran?
Hey, I'm sorry, Iran.
Yeah. No.
What part of the US has been hit by boom booms?
Oh, okay, because I thought you were going to start talking about the economy because they're doing a number on our economy right now. If
if it was a situation like 9/11, then I could kind of understand why we jumped this WAR off.
Yeah.
But that's not the case. We know what the case is.
Yeah.
We already know. See, and I'm gonna tell you this, and we had a conversation. I had this conversation with my family.
Yeah.
C-19 was a situation that they tried to take out the population, control the population. It worked to a certain degree.
That's what they claim. That's not true, though. But I get what that's what a lot of people claim, but we got to slow that down, bro. Educational purposes only.
Educational purposes only. But what we do know right now,
Got him, Dr. Keisha. Yeah.
isn't it very ironic that people are trying to eat healthier and they're trying to exercise and stay fit and whatnot. And we have more people that are vegans
Yeah.
and the vegetarians now. Isn't it ironic that all of a sudden the lettuce is being compromised, all the other vegetables are being compromised? You in the store trying to figure out what to pick up to eat.
Yeah. Isn't that
See,
something?
Bill Gates had a conversation and it was recorded
Yeah.
about
Wait, hold on.
when you control the food, you control the population.
Okay. Thank you. Now we're gonna
you have
pivot.
a lot of
We gotta
you have-
pivot, bro, because
okay.
Dayna, she is here, and we're gonna have that nice little check-in.
Okay.
But I appreciate you, bro, for coming here and W's
No
in the
doubt,
chat.
no doubt.
Thank you. You're on something.
Salute you.
All right, W's in the chat for Q Dog. All righty then, ladies and gentlemen. That's there. Now, let me go ahead and introduce our next panelist. Florida Democratic primary for governor is 4 days away, and by the numbers, it shouldn't be a close call. The most recent major poll, J. Madison Institute, August 6th says there's around 40% Democrat voters. I've seen polls that say maybe even 50% that are still undecided. Frontrunner David Jolly was a Republican congressman until last year. Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings, who might have consolidated real Democratic support, suspended his campaign in June after a cancer diagnosis. My guest today, Dayna Marie Foster, a Fort Lauderdale math teacher and first-time candidate who just picked up the endorsement of the Democratic Progressive Caucus of Florida, plus endorsements from the mayor of Eatonville, the Orange County Democratic Environmental Caucus, Moms Rising, and the Muslim for Democracy and Fairness. She hasn't raised anywhere close to what Jolly has. Her own site is literally asking Floridians for $1 at a time. She doesn't have the name recognition, but in a race where over 40% of the electorate still hasn't made up its mind, Dayna Foster is here to make her case. And I'm not telling you who to vote for. That's on you, but here she is, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and welcome her. All right, I hope I got that right. I'm nervous. Thank you. Good morning, Dayna. How are you?
Hi, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
we can. We can hear you. All right. Wow. Look at that. Did I get some of that right at least? If not, please feel free to clean it up,
It kind of got a little glitched out, but it's okay.
All right.
I don't know. I couldn't hear all of it.
Welcome. You've been making your rounds. It looks so beautiful. I mean, I can say that because I'm a Democrat Rizzler. All right, so I do that, but I hope you don't mind. I apologize in advance. But thank you for coming to the show today. Honestly, it means a lot.
Thank you for having me.
It means a lot. Now, people are, the primary is right around the corner.
Yeah.
I guess how do you want to start this and introducing yourself to the wonderful people?
Yeah, absolutely. So Florida, we've got to ask ourselves whether or not we want a true blue Democrat to represent us or if we want a former Republican. And it's really just as simple as that. My name is Dayna Marie Foster, and I'm running to become the next governor of our home. I actually entered this race about almost 13 months ago. And I was looking and seeing within locally for our elections who was running to become our next governor, senator, and then our local elections as well. At that time, the only person who had entered the race was David Jolly, and I had never heard of the man.
Right.
I did my research. And especially being a Broward County public school educator, I wanted to know who was going to be the next governor because of all of the pressure and the inequity that we've been facing within public education. And so after that, I saw that he was a former Republican. I looked at his legislative record and I saw that everything that he has ever voted on has been in direct violation of what I believe in, who I am as a person, being a Black woman.
Yeah.
So we're talking about an individual who voted to repeal the Affordable Care Act. We're talking about an individual who voted to take away a woman's right to do whatever she chooses to her body and having access to reproductive health care, an individual who has lobbied for oil companies, but yet this is who Democrats say is our best chance and our only option to beat Republicans in November. And I fundamentally and highly
Uh-oh.
disagree.
We got a violation, but if you want, I'm gonna drop you and then you could just come on back. Fair enough.
Okay.
Let's do that. Yeah, sometimes TikTok does weird, crazy things. Reporting. Whoever's doing that, don't do it. Don't do it. I'll get in there. I'll get out there and get you. All right. Let's go ahead and try to bring you. Come on. We don't want you to lose your account. All right. All right. We're making it work over here, ladies and gentlemen, because we will get these voices out here, especially black voices. All right. And you were telling. So basically, from what I'm gathering, though, you're saying that, the switch with Jolly from being a Republican to running as a Democrat is maybe contributing to why there's still so many undecided voters in Florida. Is that kind of what you were trying to get at?
Yes, that's exactly why we have so many undecided voters, because they don't see a leader that they can stand behind. And what we have encountered as a campaign is the issue is not whether or not people support us. The issue is whether or not people know that we exist.
Got it.
So we are extremely grassroots. And to get into what I stand for as a candidate is we have 6 key pillars that we have underneath our umbrella of our agenda and what we want to accomplish, not just within the first 100 days of the administration, but of course the first 4 years. And so first and foremost, we're living through an affordability crisis. And right now, it doesn't matter where you fall on the political spectrum, everyone out here is just trying to make it and make ends meet. And so what I intend on doing, should Florida elect me to be its next governor, is approaching this from a renter standpoint and a homeowner standpoint. Of course, under my umbrella of powers that I would have as governor. So first and foremost, I want to make sure that we're working towards repealing the statewide ban that we have here in Florida over rent control. What this does is it violates home rule of local government, and then it prevents local government from being able to actually implement the policy-based solutions that they want to in order to bring relief to the working people of their counties or their cities. So for example, if Palm Beach County wants to enact rent control and a cap on how much can be charged for constituents by landlords, they can't do that right now because of the rent control ban that is in place statewide. And it's actually been like that for decades, and many people don't know that.
I didn't know that, but I guess what you're doing is you're laying the groundwork, I guess, describing your path towards victory. This is kind of where we're getting at. So if you don't mind, what do you have a plan, and how are you going to come in and, secure the victory?
In terms of which victory?
Well, winning the primary, yeah, we want to know what the plan is, because we're in the 4th quarter right now. We want to get you there. Do you have anything you could share with us, perhaps, that let us know what we can do to help you?
Absolutely. So what we actually need is for people to continue to spread the word about the campaign.
Got it.
So if you have your family members, your friends, your colleagues, your neighbor, just let them know, hey, like, are you registered? Are you participating in early voting? Do you know about Dayna Marie Foster? We also have yard signs. If you want to, purchase a yard sign online, please feel free to do that so that you can also show your support. So as people are driving through your community, they can also say, wait, Foster, because it's big, bold, yellow letters on our yard sign, and they can also do their research as well. But it's really just the name recognition that we absolutely need help with, and making sure that people know that we have a real option that's running to become our next governor, that does have a plan that is policy based to make sure that we are bringing solutions to people's lives and not just throwing out talking points.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So that leads me, I guess, to my next question, which is, I know there are Republicans out there in Florida that are thinking about voting Democrat, right? You got a lot of stuff happening out there. What is your message to those voters, if you don't mind sharing that with us?
Absolutely. So even though right now primaries here in Florida are closed, and so both sides, Republican and Democrat, we are catering specifically to our bases because they're the only ones that can vote for us right now. But the moment that August 19th hits, it becomes not just Florida Democrats, it becomes Floridians, all 23.7 million of us. And even now through the primary phase of myself campaigning, I have gone to certain areas that are considered red districts, connecting with constituents. We've even had at some events, Republicans come out just to kind of hear what I'm all about. I most recently went to Bay County and they had an event through their Chamber of Commerce where I was literally standing in a room full of Republican candidates. And as I've said to all of them in that room in Bay County is when we are looking at our gubernatorial candidates, we have to ensure that they know that they're serving us, meaning we the people. And right now, as I mentioned before, it doesn't matter where you fall on the political spectrum, affordability is an issue. The attack on public education is an issue. The disregard for our environment is an issue. And when we look at those three key areas, there is overlap between Republican, Democrat, independent, and any other political affiliation in between. And our next governor needs to ensure that they understand that and that they know that they are working in servitude to we the people. And so even though that there might be some differences in terms of what I believe in versus Republicans within the state, I want them to know that I will always ensure that I'm fighting for them and protecting them, even if sometimes maybe they don't want me to be their leader, as I've also received some hate and some opposition as well along this journey. But I'm a public servant, and all I know how to do is to serve the people and making sure that their interests are put at the forefront, not those who line politicians' pockets.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And that's to me, I think being able to cross, party lines and tap into ideologies that align it's a very skilled profession. You got to be really skilled to do it. And I commend you for taking on that effort. I guess I heard you say something about the environment, and that leads me kind of into my next question. AI, we can do it two ways, because I kind of think I know where you stand when it comes to the data centers. But what do you think about AI before we go there?
So I'm going to approach this as like an educator, and I know AI has made my life as an educator incredibly difficult. It's been such a disservice to my students because I taught Algebra 1 and Algebra 2, and in Florida, Algebra 1 is a course that requires an end of course exam mandated by the state. And you have to pass that exam in order to have one of your key graduation requirements, in high school. So when I see that I have students that are heavily reliant on the AI and not using the tools that we are giving them within school, we're creeping away from the hard work that goes into being a student and working towards your education and making sure you're retaining the information, you're practicing the whole 9 yards. For me, AI has become a problem. Even though it's in other areas of our life, probably in some ways it's a benefit, in other ways it's not. And so as it relates to the AI data centers, though, here in Florida, I don't support their construction because we're seeing that they're being built in rural communities. They're also being built in communities like our own, meaning Black communities. And what has been statistically shown is that they drive up utility costs, they impede on our water supply, and we're already going through a water shortage within our state. They also pollute the air. And no matter how you look at it, like this is our literal home, the ground that we walk on, the air that we breathe. And if we're not going to place some type of prioritization on that, then what are we actually doing, right? How are we actually taking care of we the people? So, and that's coming from the standpoint of government. So I don't support them at all. The people of this state have spoken. They want bans in place because there does not need to be the continued curation of them within our state. Most candidates support a moratorium, but moratoriums are a temporary pause. Like that's it. And so a lot of candidates are saying, well, let's just wait and see. No, let's not wait and see. Let's make a decision. It's different if in 5 years something comes back and there's the data to prove that no, it doesn't, harm your air quality. It improves it. No, it doesn't contribute to a water shortage. If anything, it helps increase the supply. Until that happens, we don't need to place them within our state at all whatsoever, because again, it's about making sure that we're putting people first.
So let me get this straight, make sure I understand. So we acknowledge that, to a certain degree, AI can be helpful, but right now you're saying without data that actually shows it's helping the communities, then we need to basically address it from that perspective. Is that kind of where we're at with it? I know. And then you said the kids, they're using the AI already. Kids are.
Well, yeah. So like, for example, if we look at like Chat GPT, do you know how many like students, like we had to invalidate their statewide tests because they were cheating on statewide tests?
What?
And it's happening like just one local area, it's statewide. These kids are getting so crafty where they're not doing their own work, and they're heavily reliant on whether, and so I'm going to come from a math perspective, the Chat GPT or the Tiger Algebra or the Math Papa or Math Goth, and like all these different platforms where all they do is copy, paste, answer, and they put that into the computer.
Wow.
Copy, paste, and then I write it on my paper. And even then, we as educators know when it's AI, because AI doesn't know the way that we teach how to solve an equation always. So when I see a different method being shown on the paper, I'm like, oh, how did you know how to solve that? I've never shown you that solution. This is very interesting, your steps, even though we've never covered it in class.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow, that's see, I didn't think about that, but I could see it from that perspective. Well, fair enough, fair enough. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. I know we still okay, great. So I heard about this 287G agreement. Are you familiar with that? And and could you explain what that is and your position on it? Because when I looked into it, I thought, wow, I said that's very good that you advocate for this.
So you can think of 287G agreements as like a permission slip for local government to be able to work on behalf of ICE within our communities here in Florida. And what we have seen is that the current Attorney General, I put it in simple terms, he's bullied local governments into signing these 287G agreements, forcing the hands of heads of public universities to sign these 287G agreements. And Ron DeSantis, we didn't need any any push or any nudge to sign these 287G agreements. He did them willingly for the state agencies. And so what we're seeing right now, it just recently happened here in my backyard of Broward County, where a man was basically almost ran over by local law enforcement and ICE just to detain him in this effort to enforce immigration. And ultimately, when you're enforcing immigration and then you're actually like harming people and their lives, those are two separate things. Right now, we're not seeing immigration enforcement. Right now, we're seeing terror within our streets, in our communities.
Exactly.
And we need to ensure that we're having a higher regard for human lives. If this is not just confined to just even immigration, it's even confined to gun reformation. Like, it includes that, right? And so as it relates to these 287G agreements, I firmly believe that they need to be terminated. And so as governor, I will end them at the state level across state agencies and public universities. Local governments have to terminate their own, but at that point, we should have a Democratic Attorney General that can help walk and guide local governments through that process so that they know that they will not be persecuted like how it has currently been with the current AG. And that way we are creating a safer, more inclusive space here in Florida where people don't have to fear coming here. Like, we have to remember tourism is one of our key driving areas of our state budget. We cannot have policies in place that place fear and oppression and division and
Amen.
in our state and expect people to still come to Florida and say, yeah, I'm so comfortable here. No, that's not going to happen. So it's like, no matter how you look at it, these 287G agreements are not helpful and they need to be terminated so that our local law enforcement can actually go and do the creed and the oath that they took, which is to serve and protect our communities, not to bring fear and division.
Amen. Let's go. I just love that. You did a great job. But I gotta ask this question because as you were talking, it popped into my head. What do you say to the people who say, "Oh, look at you're being soft on immigration now. What are you gonna do? What are your plans to address, this, they like to do fear mongering, but I'm curious to think, do you believe in enforcing our immigration laws? And then if so, how should they be enforced?
I believe that immigration is something that is overseen by the federal government. So that question, I believe, is most appropriately can be answered by congressional elected officials or even candidates. I'm all for the abolishment of ICE, but replacing it with something else that is more humane. However, though, those are just my thoughts and my opinions. I will always follow the law as a governor, and I will also ensure that I am never placing the people of this state in harm either.
Amen. That's real. Because I believe what you're saying is accurate, right? I want to see humane treatment of human beings, and if they're breaking the law, then those agencies, they definitely need to be the ones handling it in a humane way. Nobody, at least for me, I don't want to see some of the stories that I've been hearing and seeing on the news happening to people. And what did you do? Oh, we think you're in the country illegally. It's just not a good thing. Next question that I have, because I'm sorry, I got some questions I want to ask you because I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to really get these answers from anyone else. So you talked about affordable housing.
Yes.
Do you have anything that I think you kind of went into it, but I'm curious, any kind of message or plan for the Floridians out there for how to address that issue when it comes to affordable housing?
Well, I talked about the removal of the statewide ban for rent control. What I didn't get into was the fact that we want to continue appropriating or basically funding the Sadowski Trust Fund. It's about $400 million a year in the state budget, and that's allocated to local governments for the purpose of creating housing that's affordable. We want to encourage local governments to look at transit hub areas and making sure that we are doing our part as a state government where we can to support these efforts of creating mid-rises and high rises in these transit hubs, because then you're connecting constituents to transportation, to easy access to healthcare, because usually there's going to be like a hospital and also primary care physicians nearby. Also making sure that it's a walkable neighborhood, so they have access to a grocery store, a pharmacy, and anything in between. Again, just connecting constituents to the resources that they need, bringing about policy-based solutions to bring relief to people's lives. But from a homeowner standpoint, what we want to look at is from an insurance standpoint, making sure that within the Office of Insurance Regulation, the insurance commissioner, I want to appoint someone that's actually, yes, well-versed in insurance, but they are someone that's going to look out for the people and not the insurance companies, because that's currently what's taking place. And people are spending so much money, and not just property taxes, but also homeowners insurance. And everyone is just looking for relief so that they can have a bit of balance so that they can breathe. We're in the space of survival mode across the entire state. And our state constitution outlines that we are entitled to the pursuit of happiness. And right now, I don't think many of us are very happy. So I want to ensure that we have the right person overseeing that state agency so that they can bring financial relief to Floridians across our state that are homeowners. We also want to make sure that we're reforming the board that oversees our public asset, which is Citizens, which is the public option for homeowners insurance. Right now, what we're seeing is that constituents are filing claims within citizens and then they're being denied. Also, in general, like not just confined to the citizens' insurance, but also just across the state, homeowners will file a claim and then they're not having their claim fulfilled in a timely fashion. And so that means that we need increased oversight from our insurance commissioner and the OIR. And again, those are going to be things that I make sure are taking place underneath that state agency to ensure that, again, we are looking out for the people of the state, making sure that we are providing them with financial relief where we can, and making sure that, again, we're putting people first, not profit.
Wow. I mean, you're literally cooking and booking up here. And I see folks out there, they're saying they've already went and casted their vote for you. So W to all of you who went and voted for. That's pretty impressive. I've never seen anything like this. The other question I had was the Democratic Progressive Caucus, they endorsed you over Jolly. Am I correct?
Yes.
So what do you think that says? What do you think that says?
It says that we're ready to have a progressive governor that doesn't have to pretend. I say all the time that, we deserve to have a true blue Democrat. We don't need a Republican cosplaying as a Democrat who says that he's a true Florida Democrat, whatever that means. No, we're the true blue candidate here at Foster for Florida. And I firmly believe that the Progressive Caucus sees that we deserve a leader who shares our lived values, our experiences, that understands what we're going through as everyday working people, and bringing forth policy-based solutions that are actually credible. Like, not a lot of people are aware of this, but David always says that the way that he's going to fund key areas of the state budget is through tourism development tax dollars, which I'm just going to call TDT for short. However, anyone who lives in Florida and knows how government works here at the state level knows that the tourism development tax dollars were made to reinvest back into tourism. And that's the only place where TDT dollars can go. They cannot go to public education. They can only go into tourism. So right now, not only is David spreading misinformation, but to some people it equates to lying. But for me, what that shows is just because you have political experience serving in Congress does not mean that you understand how state government works. So I challenge the people to ask them, is he really actually qualified? And is he really more qualified than me, being a public servant who has served my community, who actually understands what state government is all about?
Oh, wow, there you go. I mean, the misinformation piece, it is definitely something that I believe you're doing a good job calling out. So once again, I commend you for it. The next question that I have, and I'm saying this because genuinely, I run across a lot of people. Donald Trump calls them the forgotten men, so to speak. But to a certain degree, men do seem to feel like they're being left out of the Democrat Party to a degree, right? I don't know if you've heard that or not, but my question is, what is your message, I guess, to them, black and brown, young black and brown men, maybe even the older ones, even the white guys too, how they fit into your campaign?
Well, this is the people's campaign. So for me, everything that we've done from last year up until this point, which it's August 14th, has been deeply ingrained in the voices of the people of this state. And it's not just one gender, it's not just one race, it's not just one religion, it's all of us. And that's why the endorsements that we have gotten, they are diverse and they are reflective of the many voices that make up Foster for Florida. And so as a governor, I will always make sure that I'm showing up for all 23.7 million of us, making sure that no one is forgotten, and making sure that we all have a seat at the table.
And amen. So you don't have, so basically what I've done is just taken away their excuse for not voting for you, all right? Because I know they're out here saying, W's in the chat for Dayna. Now we get to talk about you being a teacher. You're a math teacher, so that's something you and I honestly have in common. I did I did my undergrad in math, so you understand pattern recognition very well, and I think it's awesome. You're investing that knowledge into the next generation.
So you're so better than me because my background is in finance. Even though I've taken quite a bit of math classes, I got up to like discrete math and like business calculus. But oh my goodness, to just do pure math, my brother's actually doing that, and I'm all
Well, we're underrepresented in those fields, right? So that to me stood out a lot about you, and you're still a public servant. And I said that's a very unique combo to get out of a person. Number one, but especially with your background. And I said, you know what, W's in the chat for Dayna for that, because no one forced you to do that. No one forced you to do that. These are things you took it upon yourself to do. But the question that I have was, how does that approach? How does all of that affect your approach to education reform and the pillars you have specifically?
So, being an educator, I am seeing firsthand how public education is being privatized, like as we speak. I see how public schools are resources to our inner cities and our rural communities, and how they're pillars of access, right? And opportunity. You have a student that can go to a public school and they learn about computer engineering, and then they are essentially having a pathway to college, and then they can actually become a computer engineer like in this state, right? Or even if it's from a more entrepreneurial background or vocational. And so what we have to understand is that Republicans right now are trying to privatize a lot of things. And when I say Republicans, I mean the ones in Tallahassee. So I'm not talking about the constituents. And I want to put that clarity out there so people don't think like, oh, she just said one thing and now that, no, because I'm going to be a governor that serves all people. But the elected officials that we have right now in Tallahassee are majority Republican. And so the policies that they are pushing forward as it relates to public education is to privatize it, to ensure that charter schools and private schools are at the forefront instead of public schools. And public schools are a public resource. Like, we pay for these things through our property taxes to ensure that we have access to it. And so it's the same thing for being able to pick up the phone and call 911 and expecting EMTs to roll out. Like, we are entitled to having public schools in our communities because of the property taxes that are paid. So with that being said, what I want to ensure is that A, we're not eliminating property taxes. B, instead, we're bringing about a progressive tax system as it relates to property taxes. So for example, if your home is already paid off for, what you're not doing is paying for property taxes at the same rate, because what property taxes are is you paying for the services that come with living in a community or a county. So for example, your home's paid off, essentially you own everything. So you shouldn't be paying this full value of property taxes, right? Because it's your home, it's your land. What you're paying for is the fact that your land is in, let's say, Seminole County. And therefore, in order for your kids, your grandkids, your great grandkids to have public schools, or for you to have the EMT services, or, police officers, public libraries, everything that is a public good, those property taxes go towards that. But again, you're paying a significantly lesser price. We're talking about 30 to 40% less than what you would currently pay. And so with that, though, we're still going to have those funds to give to public education. I also want to ensure that we're raising the corporate tax rate, closing corporate tax loopholes so that we're actually creating revenue, again, putting that back in the state budget, and that can also go towards public education. That way, what we can do is establish a statewide teacher-based pay of $60,000. That way, we can establish universal meals for our students across all school districts. That way, we'll have the financial infrastructure in place for other areas as well of the state budget. And in addition to the financial aspect of things, I want to ensure that within the Department of Education, we have an independent curriculum commission that is comprised of educational professionals that are nonpartisan. And what they're actually going to ensure is that our students are getting a quality education that is factual, that is accurate, and that includes our entire historical context of what has happened in this country and this entire world.
Wait, W said so you believe in teaching a real history?
We want to ensure that we do bring back the option of having AP African American studies within our state. Our students absolutely should have that choice to be able to take that class. And the fact that Ron DeSantis and people in Tallahassee say otherwise, it's an injustice, it's poor leadership, and it absolutely shows the prejudice that they have.
Let's go. Wow. I love it. I mean, and again, W's to all of you in the audience who are saying that they're going to vote for you, or if they even lived in Florida, they would vote for you, because it really is nice to hear, just real authentic conversations around topics that we all genuinely are concerned about, especially as it relates to healthcare. That's one of my things, right? I say it's either you're talking about healthcare or honestly, I don't care, because I think that's where it all starts. You know what I mean? So the next question, okay, we're doing good. So let's just go down the path. And if it doesn't work out for you, would you be willing to support Jolly if it turns out that he's the one that ends up, moving forward? You don't have to answer it if you don't feel comfortable with the question, but that was a question that someone asked me to ask you.
I will support Democrats that are for the people.
Oh, you spoken like a true politician. Okay, fair enough. I'm gonna just ask the questions. I just do what I do. Another question: what is the one issue you think voters may probably misunderstand about your campaign? What do you think that issue, or it could be more than one issue?
Honestly, I feel like our policies are very clear and straightforward. I would say that from a conservative standpoint, some people are confused about immigration and probably gun reform. When it comes to immigration, again, like I mentioned before, immigration is not a state policy, it's a federal policy. So I have no influence on that. However, though, I will absolutely follow the law. But the law currently says that we do not have to sign 287G agreements. Those are optional. We already follow the law as a state. The 287G agreements are like the cherry on top of a sundae. You don't really always need it. And we did not need these 287G agreements. So that's one thing that I wanted to provide clarity on. And then as it relates to gun reformation, we want to ensure that we're not infringing upon anyone's Second Amendment rights. What we want to ensure is that we are protecting human lives and creating safer communities throughout our entire state from gun violence. And that's really just what it's all about. So, for example, the minimum purchasing age dropping down to 18 is not okay. As an educator, I have 18-year-olds that were in my classroom, and I know that they have no business having access to purchase a firearm. And so what we have to do is increase that age limit back up, because again, it's about us being responsible as a state and making sure that we're protecting human lives and creating safer communities. I also want to ensure that through the state legislature that they pass a safe storage law as it relates to gun owners who have firearms, and in their homes they have one of two things. They either have A, minors that live there, or B, individuals that are deemed what we call red flags. So these are individuals that by the court system have been determined to be a risk, and they are not allowed to be around or carry a firearm, right?
Yeah.
So what we want to ensure is that if it's one of the two or both, firearm owners are keeping their guns underneath a certain standard of lock and key, so to speak, basically in a safe, so that it's not easily accessible. Because again, this is about making sure that we're protecting human lives and creating safer communities.
Awesome. You got it locked in. You're ready to go. I can already tell. You're really ready to go, and I do appreciate it. I got maybe a couple more if you got a little bit of time, but I know about Jerry Demings, right? Him suspending his campaign, how did that impact your calculus, or did it impact it at all?
Yeah, it actually sent us like pretty much into second place. So a lot of the polling that was coming out when we were in the middle of the primary, and you had David, you had Jerry, and then you had myself. And a lot of people felt that David was not the person that we needed. Jerry was that, I guess, saving grace. But for myself, I was more reflective of the people, but name recognition was an issue. So when Jerry dropped out, a lot of constituents did their research to see, okay, well, who's next? And even some individuals within the party who don't align with David Jolly also started looking towards us and our campaign as the next viable candidate. And so it's unfortunate that public polls have not taken place in our primaries since Jerry has dropped out. And I mean meaningful ones where the data is actually accurate. Because if there were public polls that were done, people would see just exactly how close I am to David. Everyone's going off of polls that were, months old. There is a lot that has happened within the last several weeks that has catapulted this campaign to the front and making us the direct challenger for David. There are a lot of people who were in that undecided bracket that have kind of stepped in, and they are supporting our campaign. We've even had independents declare a political party and become Democrats just so that they can vote for myself in the primary. I've even had constituents and me just talking with them one-on-one say, I thought David is all that we had. And you know what? You have my vote because you are exactly what I'm looking for in a Democratic nominee. And the reason for that is because when you have the general election, you want to see the difference. What's the point in having two Republican candidates? Make it make sense. You want to see one Democrat and one Republican. And a vote for David Jolly is ensuring that we only have two Republicans to choose from. And I think as a Democratic Party, and for someone who is a Democrat, that's not fair. I want to have a true blue option. Just like how I'm pretty sure Republicans want to have their true red option.
But didn't David didn't he break from Trump though, and he's really because some people say he's rehabilitated and now he's really, I see your eyes.
Okay, and this is where I'm just gonna kind of level, right? There's a difference between being a Democrat and being against Donald Trump. Just because he left the party because he doesn't support Donald Trump, it's not because he left the party because he's a true Democrat. Those are two totally different things. And then furthermore, what has he done? There's no question about who I have served over the last 15 years in the communities that I've worked for, whether it was through public libraries or public education. David has not shown that change. What, because you sat on MSN Now for a couple of segments and you spoke against Donald Trump, that makes you a real Democrat? No. I spoke to a candidate who was also a part of the state legislature who spoke to David last year and asked him, what's your stance on, abortion and a woman's right to choose what happens to her body? And his response is that he didn't support it. And that was a year ago when he just entered the race, right? Now, of course, that I think is for constituents to go and talk to David about and really say, how do we truly know that you stand with our values when your track records show that you're a part of the problem of why millions of Floridians in this state don't have health care?
Wow.
Make it make sense.
Wow, that's an interesting point. Wow. You can't do both. Well, I mean,
I think what should have happened is that if you're gonna break away from your party, break away from your party, but then do the work to show that you're an actual Democrat. He has not done that. He is, and that is the issue, and that's the problem.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Wow. Wow. W's in the chat for Dayna. Wow. I guess rounding the corner, and you probably are used to this question, but day one after you win, you get inside and you're doing what's the priority list? What are you doing? Are you throwing a party? We deciding what are we doing?
No parties. I and I know this is a hiring process, and I try to be as transparent as I possibly can with the people. It's hard though because I don't want Republicans to know in Tallahassee like what I want to do, because I don't want them to have a plan to be like, yeah, we're going to combat that, right? So what I'll say, my main priority on day one is addressing affordability. And I have my plan, but I want constituents to know like where my priorities stand. It's addressing affordability because right now we are living through an affordability crisis. We have to ensure that we're bringing relief on day one, all the way through day whatever for the 4 years. And I also want to ensure that we are terminating the 287G agreements. And I also want to ensure that, because it's slated for the amendment for the expansion of Florida Medicaid to actually be on everyone's general ballots in November. The moment that passes, that's also one of the first things that I'm going to sign to ensure that we are expanding access to healthcare immediately, the first moment that I get.
Wow. Wow, W's in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. Well, listen. That basically summarizes. I'm glad you gave us the solid hour this morning to know who you are and get people excited to go and cast their vote for you. Any closing remarks for all the wonderful people who've tuned in today and listened to you?
Yes, absolutely. If you have family and friends here in Florida, please let them know about Foster for Florida and that our campaign is the only progressive Democratic campaign that is running in this gubernatorial election. Please, if you are a Floridian, if you haven't already voted, please make sure that you're making a plan to vote. Check your voter registration. Make sure that you are a registered Democrat. That's the only way that you can participate in our primary, and then make a plan. Are you going to vote before Sunday during early voting, or are you going to vote on election day, which is Tuesday, August 18th? We have to ensure that we're taking back not just our government, but we're taking back our state and we're taking back our democracy. And right now, within our Democratic Party, it is under attack by Republicans, and we need to take our party back. We need to ensure.
That scared me too. I was like, oh, my computer's going crazy. But yeah.
And we have to ensure that we're taking our party back. We should have real Democrats that are Democratic nominees to represent us in the general election. And I say all the time that it's time to fight fire with fire. And that's why we are igniting and spreading the blue flame across this entire state. We are not riding the 30-year blue wave that has been taking place, where we've been, you guys have been putting W's in the chat. Well, as a party, we've been L's. We've been 30-year losers. And now it's time for us to actually become winners. And the way that we become winners is through a vote for myself, Dayna Marie Foster. I will always put people first. I will always ensure that we are moving forward as a state. I will always ensure that I'm fighting for us, protecting us. I will never bend the knee to Donald Trump. And I will always ensure
Amen.
that I am governor for the people.
Amen, amen, amen. Well, listen, thank you so much. You truly are fearless, all right, undefined, and you are what's next. She knows what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. That's her campaign slogan. If you don't know, make sure you go to the website, fosterforflorida.com. Thank you so much. All righty then. Take care.
Yeah, see you next time.
All right,
Bye,
see.
everyone.
All right, and thank your team for reaching out to me as well. I forgot to say that they reached out and they helped make this possible. They worked so hard for you, and that's also equally amazing. Thank you so much, and good luck. All right, gentlemen. Another example of Black excellence. Dayna Marie Foster. Wow, what an honor, what a treat, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. I hope you all enjoyed it. And if you get out there in Florida and you're out there, you know what to do. Go and vote. Because that's what you call putting in the work, right? She really did put in the work. She didn't have to take time to come visit us in the kingdom. But when you're really serious, and this is what I'm saying, when you're really serious and really passionate about saving this great country of ours, that's what you do. I got to give it to her. You know, if you reach out to Big Zeus, you're gonna get a lot of love, and that's just what they did. So yeah, and I forgot to say this, we got when you do win, please don't forget all of us. Please don't forget all of us. All right, please. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Well, what a great show. What a great show. Let's see. We got to get up out of here. But who do I have up here? I see some guest requests. Let's see. Oh wow, I got a lot of guest requests. I don't think I'm going to be able to do all of the guest requests, ladies and gentlemen. But oh my gosh, I'll talk to Dr. Keisha. I got to get up out of here, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all trying to make your boy work today. All right, W's to the chat. Good morning, Doc.
You have to work. You have to. You did a good job.
Thank
Look
you.
at you.
Well, you see what I
did a good
did?
job.
Thank you so much. That means a lot. We got to the bottom.
You are welcome.
Thank you. How are you
It
doing?
was great. I'm doing good. It's refreshing, man. It's refreshing to see women and Black women leading. Oh my God.
Yes, let's go. We got a treat today.
Something else you noticed, she focused on the certain issues, but she didn't focus on the things that we realize now we probably don't need to say, but will be taken care of.
Yeah.
Including like the Surgeon General in Florida and the whole health stuff. But she focused on the things that the other sides that are the pain points.
Correct.
And that's what you have to do. She focused on the pain points.
Thank you.
So that's
Yeah, we only can do so much in an hour, right? But she did it. I said, wow.
No, she did. She focused on what she needs to. She focused exactly on what we need to.
Thank you.
Instead of trying to all the things that we know are really important, we have to focus on what the people are and money and finances are the most important. Now listen, the thing with AI, I want y'all to go do a deep dive into AI and the types of AI. Generative AI, if you were to branch it off in the different types, generative AI is a very small facet of AI. That's the ChatGPTs and the Claudes and all that. I want you to know that AI, which we actually use in science as augmented intelligence, has been saving lives since the early 2000s, maybe even 1970s. As far as microbiology, when someone's sick and we need to see the best antibiotic to treat them, we've been using AI. So AI in medicine, I want people to not think that it's just this big, huge abyss. AI is very different. And I am a proponent of AI, by the way. I'm a proponent of it.
But the data centers, we got
the data centers are different, but I want people to understand there's different types of AI. So let's just don't say AI, let's say generative AI. Yes, that definitely needs to be reined back. But AI in medicine has been saving lives. By the way, radiologists use it.
Yeah, that's why I kind of threw the question. I said, because you can have it. To me, this is how I am personally, so I can only speak. But my position about AI is a lot different than my position about the data centers, right? So that's very good.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Thank you.
I'm glad. Yeah, whatever. And then
thank you.
We love us some Zeus, and we love us some deep voice Q Dog. But I was coming to talk about that.
Yeah, go for it.
We love you, Q Dog. We love you, Q Dog. But one thing I've noticed when we get about politics, we have to make sure we get the medicine part right. We have to make sure we get it right. For instance, case in point, they are trying to poison us. I don't know who they is, because maybe it's the microbacteria that have been living way before us. They have been around. For instance, cyclospora has been around for over a decade. Every spring and summer, cyclospora comes out. But you know why we didn't know about cyclospora?
Why? Because it was being monitored.
It was
Probably.
being monitored. Michigan had 50 cases last year, and this year it blew up to over 1,500. So they are the people that decided that what we do is not important enough to finance and to put people in those positions. So we no longer have the reporting and contact tracing that we used to have, which is why they are also making you all believe that science is not important, that the MMR as a conjugate or together is not important.
Yeah.
And you can check that clip out. That's what. So actually what they are doing, they're not poisoning anything. They're poisoning our minds.
Wow.
That's what they're doing. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Because bacteria, parasites, viruses are doing what they've always done.
Yeah. There you
And
go.
we were quietly raining back on them through even AI, tracing them, looking at how they're evolving. But we're getting poisoned, not in the water, y'all, but we're getting, thank you, Q, we're getting poisoned with our minds.
Oh, there you go. Hit him with it.
I want to say that's how we get them poisoned. That's how we get them poisoned. And yeah, y'all check out my TMZ. My TMZ in the know on the Tube of You video.
Yeah.
I am on it.
Okay.
I'm trying to get out there and correct the information on all facets.
Well, you're doing a good job. Keep up the motivation. Stay on top, please, Doc, so we can stay healthy out here.
And you stay healthy too, Zeus. I'm glad that you have a platform to allow people to come on, candidates, all that stuff, and then we also can hold each other accountable, which the other side does not do.
Thank you. You people like you make it possible. All right, so thank you.
Yeah,
thank you. W's in the chat for Doc. Oh my gosh. Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen, we are Zeus has to get up out of here. What a great show. We cooked and we booked. And we crammed it all in. You all deserve a huge round of applause. I didn't even let the airplane take off today, ladies and gentlemen. My apologies, but it did take off. You just didn't get the warning. Let's go ahead and prepare the cabin for landing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, have a great weekend.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have now landed and arrived at our final destination.
Let's go.
On behalf of 3 Crossing Zeus, also known as Triple H, and the entire crew, I would like to thank you for flying with us today. We extend our sincere gratitude to all the viewers who tuned in and listened throughout the show. Your time, attention, and participation made this episode truly meaningful. We are deeply appreciative of your continued support.
Thank you. Wow.
A special thank you goes to our valued subscribers, generous gifters, dedicated moderators, and esteemed panelists. Your contributions, guidance, and active involvement are essential to the success of the Kingdom and allow us to deliver the highest quality experience for everyone.
Really does.
As you prepare to depart, please remember that full recordings of today's episode will be uploaded to our YouTube channel shortly. For information on all my social media handles and future broadcasts, please visit the link in the bio.
Yeah.
Thank you once again for choosing to be a part of the Kingdom. We are honored that you allowed Zeus, also known as Triple H, to guide you to Olympus. Until our next journey, we wish you a safe and productive day ahead. You may now gather your belongings
Get your
and
bags.
exit the aircraft. We look forward to welcoming you back on board soon.
Thank you. All right. Let's go ahead and end it on a high note. W's in the chat for Kabira. Get some music. Hey! I like this song, so we're going to listen to it. Let's go! Hey! Have a great one. Hey! 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 Have a great weekend. Woo! Hey! Thank you, Kamira. Have a great one. Hey! Get out there and vote. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, let's go. She wanna go where she ain't been before. What? Slip down. Let's go. Windfall. Hey.
Now she talk about in-law. Bitch going back and forth like a paddle. Her nose is white, act like she seen a ghost. Spectrum my side is gonna feel like a boat. She got the clear view with Birkin on her toes.
Hey.
She saying yes, it's a green light, a go.
Hey. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, y'all gonna be dancing to that. Hey, let's go, look. Vote blue. JC. Hey. Let's go. All right, have a great rest of your morning. We're